game. Gonna have to find out. Will it be a 1-1 as well? Was Liquid very much needing to get a victory under their belt, or can EG find their first 2-0 as well? And we will see the flex, of course, of the mag getting played mid. Oh, sorry, as a carry for Because. So we'll see. Is the last pick tiny enough to give you confidence with the EG draft?
I like their draft, but I would actually go with Liquid this game. I also feel like EG is one of these teams in the group stage that just seem to get a ton of draws. Obviously, we saw it earlier today already against LGD, but I think Liquid have done a good job adjusting their draft and picking something that's going to suit them well and fight into the aggression of EG well, but definitely ways for EG to take fights. I think particularly curious to see how they play around the Brewmaster and his like level 6 timing. They can kind of use Brewmaster how they did with the Death Probe, where it's like, hey, this hero has ultimate, they can't fight us, we're going to go force this objective. So I think a lot of this game, this early game, is going to come down to how EG play around that.
And I think a lot of it comes down to how you can slow down Nisha once again. Sismal did an exceptional job in game 1 with his Death Prophet against the Void, as we see Matthew going the boundary in front of his eyes. So this time it's going to be 3-for-1 favoring EG, but I really think this game, Nisha, he could pop off. Like, you have that steroid with the Pugna, and it's a pretty goddamn good Storm game too. There's not a lot of control. There is some that he has to be worried about. I think really the big one is just the early game. If C-Smile with a couple of blink rotations is able to slow his game down, then Nisha could be limited. But if he gets off to a good start, then they definitely could have a Storm issue.
I'm going to start with 3 heroes up top.
What do you know? It'll continue on. A couple of blood grenade enjoys that EG have. And that'll result in them getting a kill because finds first blood.
I'm glad Blood Grenade was added. It's such a fun item where it's like, oh, everyone just gets an extra nuke for the laning stage.
It's a little overtuned though, would you say?
Yes, but also I'm okay with it, you know?
You know, it means we get kills.
Yeah.
Like we just see from Insania rotating top through the rift, so now they're even going to try and bring an extra hero to prove to be a bit of an issue. And it looks like we might just indeed have a repeat of game 1 as now Because he's getting zoned back to the tower. How does it feel to have 2 supports just up in your face?
Yeah, he's like, what's this about? Usually I'm the one with 3 heroes and the enemy's meant to have less. So the pressure's on the top lane. Bounty Hunter is one of these heroes that doesn't really want to play a tri-lane versus tri-lane. Like, you don't mind roaming with the bounty and being in a 3v2. But as soon as it's a 3v3 and you're a level 1 bounty, like, you're not really offering much to a tri-lane. So, you know, for now, EG are kind of forced to kind of stick to splitting up their supports, at least until they get those levels. Okay.
Is the Because?
Just right-click him down.
Right-click him down, indeed. It's just an easy way to do it. I think they got a single pull off. I didn't see if it was just half the wave or as the full wave, but free wave in a great position for Liquid to be able to put the pressure onto the mag. And it looks like Insania is going to make the walk all the way back to base without a TP. It doesn't feel like he can go through the rift as well. So that means Mickey is vulnerable down bottom with some pretty good body blocks out of Matthew. It'll help them get a lot of chip damage into the Bloodseeker.
Yep.
And he has no resources as well. So he's fully reliant on last hitting to heal up.
Yep. Just keeps on yoinking him. Taking whatever little tiny bit of gold bit by bit. Yeah, this is where the bounty hunter can cause problems in. I think, again, this is the strength of Bounty Hunter, is playing when you have a numbers advantage. Like, he sees, okay, they're going to leave their carry alone. Let's go play the 2v1. Now it's a 2v2, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Matthew go top to go play the 3v2. He always wants to be in the lane where he's got a numbers advantage.
He's always annoying like that. Insania, pretty nice jump in. Matthew now is in a lot of danger. Mickey able to chase him down. In fact, Insania that gets the kill. They're not done just yet. They're going to eye over towards Whisper. Mickey plays around with the Fairy Fire. He should be able to get another kill. Unfortunately, Insania finds the double. You would have loved Mickey to be able to get those kills. Meanwhile, the action doesn't stop as Panda will go down to the last right click of Boxy. And Because he's going to be lacking the damage to get the turnaround. Because going to be pretty cautious, so Zai's going to stand his ground. And with the blast from Boxy, 2 points up in it early on. Both supports love and life. Boxy and Insania getting the double kill.
Boxy just using this level 1 decrep, and they caught Matthew.
All right, we are not. It's very similar to our last game. Kills galore as Boxy. boy. Triple arcane roots about to be completed. Life is good for the Pugner.
Yeah, just some great early decrypt usage. Zai actually got skewered into the tower, then he got Sinister Gaze into the tower, and he just gets kept alive because of some decrypts. Also, just having this early ring, well, double ring, the health and the protection. So much sustain and survivability, and this top lane has gone so well for Liquid.
And looks like mid's also going very well for Nisha too. 23-2 compared to the 14-5. So he's using this ranged into melee matchup quite well, but he does get tossed onto the tower. Nisha's going to stand his ground, get some damage out. Matthew, can he rotate him fast enough to keep C-Smile alive? With the bottle charges, that'll be enough, and now Nisha's in trouble with 2 heroes up in his face. I'll be able to get a big kill. Much needed one at that, considering how this Storm lane was really starting to shape up.
Yeah. Again, Bounty Hunter's thing. Trying to find that advantage somewhere, just swing the tides. And it's going to be important for Matthew to keep finding these kind of openings. Doesn't have to be in the side lanes. He's less about securing lanes and more about just trying to find somewhere where he can get these kills because of how bad this start has gone for Evil Geniuses. But that can quickly change, particularly I mentioned around the Brewmaster level 6. If you can stabilize these lanes, get these ultis online, have a mid-tiny who can start making rotations around power runes, and all of a sudden you can see EG start getting the kills to go their way.
Once again, Insania's going to go through the rift. It's going to catch him off guard with the backline stab. Got that blast off, but it's just onto one. Zai was a little bit... he wanted the creeps. There was too juicy of a camp to farm and a wave as well, so because he's able to skewer away, but they might continue to put the pressure on. They've got a full wave along with the catapult. They're going to cut as well, so with this, they'll look for a dive onto EG, and they're going to need extra numbers to keep Panda alive, and potentially Bakaz as well.
They're just too strong here. Vanguard Axe. He's level 4 only with a Vanguard, just completely running at them. And once they got Bakaz low, like, you can't stick around and stay in this lane. At the same time, like, Matthew can rotate up here on Bounty, but if there's a sentry down and you try run in, you're just going to feed away your life. Double sentry in this top lane. Liquid are just ready for anything that comes their way up here and have played it incredibly well, limiting what EG can do.
Also then secure the DD for Nisha as well. They do scout out that both supports are away from the lane. So the cars might look for the skewer under the tower, but of course always that call is going to be a bit of an issue for him. So let us see now though. We've got our first power rune picked up for Storm. What's the call going to be for Nisha?
Yeah, for now, just sitting in this mid lane. Has the I mean, I don't think there's going to be like an easy opportunity to TP to a side lane for a gank because all your lane, they're the ones being aggressive on both bottom and top. So lanes are pushing out. So I think we could see Nisha like shove out this mid lane, then go for a rotation, but pretty hard to do that because there are wards around the river covering these rotations. But Wisdom Room's coming up, and it looks like both teams playing some little cheeky mind games around these Wisdom Rooms. Are we going to see the blast off for it?
Probably. Let's see, does he go for it?
Yep.
Yeah, he's just to secure it, just to make sure. And Insania should be okay. Okay, so yeah, Wisdom Room picked up for Liquid side. Diet, they still got their own one. Because he's getting chased down at the moment. Zion Boxy. We're going to continue the chase. There is, of course, the potential of C-Smile even to rotate. Even bottom lane, actually, Whisper.
Yeah.
Ruptured up. Seems to be okay at the moment. He needs the boys, and C-Smile's going to try TP in, but it's a little bit too far away to get that connection out of the avalanche. So first Rupture helps secure a solo kill for Mickey.
And that's almost like not just a solo kill, but a tiny TP rotation where he's suddenly bottom lane, like, and you know his TP is on cooldown. So all of a sudden you can play super aggressive up top, knowing that Tiny can't TP in. So a huge victory for Liquid, and they're going to have like a full minute of fun time in this top lane because they don't have to worry about time. Dunk. Easy peasy.
Easy. Yes, sir. Easy. Couple of stacks. First one of the game. Meanwhile, they were trying to make the attempt on Nisha mid. Almost was able to bring him down, but that extra health from the Falcon Blade keeps Nisha alive. Will mean C-Smile gets the Arcane Rune, but top lane is just completely free. You're going to be able to take an early tower, which will make it that much easier for them to now invade into the jungle, because Bakaz needs his catch-up with his Empower. We TP it back in.
I think C-Smile's TP bottom was a big mistake. I'm definitely in hindsight. Like, you see what happens top, and that's purely happening because there's zero danger of a tiny TP in. And they're not done playing aggressive. Another Rupture comes out.
With Nisha nearby, they should have to damage Whisper, still not level 6 just yet. Is Mickey going to be in some danger though with both supports nearby? One more right click. No, what? 5 health, I think, from Mickey. Gets out of danger. Matthew's going to hunt. See, Smiles in as well. Wants to turn to Nisha, however, but unable to catch him with the avalanche. So both Nisha and Mickey will get out of danger. Meanwhile, they'll also push Bakaz back in the jungle. So no one is having a good time on EG.
Mickey just TP's mid on 100 health. He's like, oh, lifesteal here. This is fine.
Oh,
He's all right.
Matthew, though, not so all right. Yeah. Uh-oh, Nisha bottom meanwhile.
So got some distance away. Box has got the 6 as well. So up you go. Wonder if they... I mean, they saw Boxy TP in, so they probably won't stick around for a potential kill.
Nisha's ready to go.
Zai, okay, top of the tier 2 tower, RPU. Zai's getting some pretty goddamn good spins off because tries to skew on over. He's playing his distance, and Bakaz will live on a slither of health. Almost goes down to the battle hunger, but great TPs in from EG to be able to keep him alive.
Yeah. Sticks by his tower, getting that extra health regen may actually have made a difference there too, keeping him alive. So well done by Bakaz there to avoid that aggression, but still a ton of space. Those are the kind of deaths that you don't mind too much because you're just putting so much pressure on you. Force several TP rotations. You know your teammates are free farming elsewhere on the map, getting kills elsewhere. So not a bad death by any means, although you know it was a death that could have been avoided and a death that EG is going to be happy about. But ultimately, this game still has problems that need to be solved for EG.
And how... Oh, actually hold that, because see Smile. Some boys playing around bottom. Nisha too is some backup. They really want to get first usage out of the Primal Split, but an early TP from Whisper does give Liquid time to react and back on off, just in case a fight breaks out. But so what's the game plan here for EG? How do you stabilize this game and at least you'll be able to slowly cut into the net worth?
I think the two big fight around your strongest heroes, which is Tiny and Brewmaster. You know, often you'd be saying, okay, let's fight around like a Tiny Blink. I think that item's just too far away, so it's the level 6 Brew with the just Tiny and Power Runes. Like if Tiny can get some Power Runes, then you've got yourself a hero that probably can't really be fought into all too easily. So I think those two heroes playing together as much as possible is going to create openings for EG. At the same time, you can't just camp those two heroes in the same lanes. You have to be a little bit efficient with getting some farm as well.
That farm is going to be even scarier now, though, with the blink just completed for Zai. So Blink Vanguard, 11 minutes in. He's going to be looking to get very active across the map. Has Nisha with him, has Boxy as well. So he's going to catch, but oh, he didn't blink. Let's see if it's going to matter. Looks like it definitely will, because drops the RP. C-Smart's a pretty good combo under the T2 tab, but they're lacking some extra damage. Finally, there'll be a TP, but it's just too late from Panda.
Yep. Bottom lane, there's the Brewmaster split being used to get a kill too, so...
Rupture.
Yep.
Oh, Mickey is even up to C-Smile. So is he still able to catch up the Tiny? C-Smile will make him work for the kill. Nisha's going to be forced to zip on in with a finishing blow. Now Mickey is going to turn his attention over to Panda. This is looking like a little bit more difficult of a kill for them to get, though.
Mickey just going to heal up a bit and probably fall back. I think Liquid don't want to get too aggressive here. Already come out on top of this little skirmish. No need to get too greedy going for more.
Nisha, he's ready to go. Mr. Sword nearby. Gas is filled. Dunk is out for Zai. 3 stacks already. Still a great start. Not gonna... Man, he got very close to ticking out, though. 50 health left for him.
Yeah, but what a game for the Axe. 6k net worth. Zai, 3-1-6. Just having such a big impact. Even while so much of this like early game he's been left on his own at times and still able to find a way to get a ton of farm. And just put so much pressure on the map.
I sang the praises of EG's vision game in game 1, but now it looks like it's Liquid's. This ward down bottom with Sentry as well. Scouts out see Smile TP down. They see Matthew as well. So already Zai's going to look to try and get set up and might even come through the rift as well. Boxy, Nisha at the ready if required. They're going to see that though. Rift gets activated. Whisper's ready to die. Primal Split still on cooldown for Whisper. This is not going to be an easy fight. Now, as soon as Nisha and Boxer reveal their faces, EG, they're going to back off. They know this is a fight that they will not be able to succeed in. They only lose one at least, not the worst, but still, I mean, this is a 7,000 deficit when you have a bounty lineup.
Yeah. It's the hope is that maybe you start stacking up some of these mid-game fights and just start building up that track gold, but that's not the way to do it there. Still think, you know, overall, Matthew had the right idea, which was like, I'm going to just, you know, he cleared out the Techie's mind from the Rift, saw everybody coming in, and allowed EG to cut their losses. The problem is, it's losses, and you're already down 7k gold, 16 kills to 4. You know, this Bloodseeker's having a pretty free game. It's getting closer and closer to BKB. Storm is just wreaking havoc with the axe, so you can't afford to just keep giving up these kills that are building a bigger and bigger lead for Liquid.
I'm quite impressed though with Bakaz's net worth. It did just farm a gigantic stack.
Yep.
Over at one of the Ancients, so Harpoon's going to be shortly completed for him. I also just checked, dude. Matthew and Panda are both level 6, so they're going to need to get some experience up on these guys. I think it was a 1-for-1 Wisdom. Yeah, it was. So,
yeah, you know, they're supports. As long as they're level 6, you know, it's what else do they need?
Sure. That's a classic carry play mentality. You got your 6, you got an extra spell. What are you complaining about?
Like the old patch, like, all right, these tomes of knowledge are mine now. You know, once you get your 6 in support, you lose all claim to those tomes. But no, I agree. Like even just things like points in the Frost Shield for Lich to have some scaling protection, and obviously the Bounty Hunter I think can do a lot more with some farm and levels. But for now, he's just on pesky courier hunting duty, sniping couriers as they head out to the secret shop. In support, you lose all claim to those tomes. But no, I agree. Like even just things like points in the Frost Shield for Lich to have some scaling protection, and obviously the Bounty Hunter I think can do a lot more with some farm and levels. But for now, he's just on pesky courier hunting duty, sniping couriers as they head out to the secret shop and head out to take liquid items. This is classic Bounty Hunter things. Like the game's not going good, we're avoiding fights. Let's just be annoying.
Classic Bounty and just classic Matthew things as a whole as well. So we do have the blink now getting now completed on C Smile. This is really the big thing we're looking for. You're about to have, well, actually you do have the Harpoon, so they are ready to go. They'll also get a free kill onto Panda inside the realm, so Zai will get another stack.
Look, that Lich is level 7. If he was level 6, he would respawn sooner, Ares.
Oh, right. Is that what we're thinking? So slow the levels down. Come on, come on, exactly. Mate. Why are you 7? You should get 0 experience. All you should do, die faster, come back to the lane, drop wards, give me some regen. I know selves aren't too good anymore, but buy selves, and maybe because we'll be able to carry. Maybe. Yeah,
tank a smoke gank or 2. You know, yeah. There we go. Bottom lane, they're fishing, but
Senya's being such a nuisance.
They've recognized he's alone. They're like, okay, we see these heroes. We're giving up our top tier 2 tower. We're gonna kill this damn techies and take this bottom tier 1. But for Liquid, and
do it. Still a big creep.
He's just gonna hit the Bloodseeker. Okay.
So he does it on the low ground as well. So make it. Oh. Okay. So that's another primal split used. It's just a kill on Boxy though.
It's not ideal, but I think you're just gonna take what you can get. And once you've got this number advantage, you charge forward, you look for more, you get the track going. But Matthew needs backup, and that backup is far away.
They're coming though. Like you said, too far away. So just out of range with the avalanche. Nisha a step out of danger. Another kill for them. It is again just on a measly support though, so not the worst, because continuing to farm. Satanic is actually queued up for the mag. I know this is your kind of stock standard counter to the axe call. Continue still able to right click inside it. As Nisha, and speaking of the axe, going to be able to find another kill, it looks like, onto the Lich. So it's they're not the worst killers though. Your cores aren't dying, they're continuing to farm, and that's really the big thing. You can die as many times on the supports, but as long as you got the boys continuing to get their farm, then it's not too bad.
Yeah, and I think there is, always going to be potential. I mean, we saw last game with the Magnus skewer back to put a tiny toss back.
Well, you can't lose C-Smile now. Like, it's okay losing a support, but losing Tiny is not okay. And it looks like he's even ready to go for another one. Diving deep under the tier 2 tower. They go. Matthew, he'll be able to enter the high ground. Mikke's going to stand strong off the back of the BKB, but Cars will finally look to show up. Skewers Zai into the middle. Do they have the damage just yet? Boxy with the medic, keeps him healthy, but now see Smile off the buyback, gets the combo out of 2. Nisha's got the follow-up as well, but the RP, it's not good enough. They're out of health. Without that, to be able to stand strong, Liquid now looking for the cleanup. They know C-Smile is vulnerable, and by himself, the Tiny steps out to the east and will be okay. Liquid once again, another great engagement for them.
He smells back in. He finds another tiny toss combo and takes out the techies. So getting some value out of his buyback, but still the fight heavily going Liquid's way there. Just such a big farm advantage here. Having the Pugna just juicing the Storm up, just giving him this constant, unlimited mana to kind of fight around. It's just such a big problem.
He's even ready to go for another one, diving deep under the T2 tower. It's a great combo. You just see there's multiple steroids you can give over the Storm. Who we do see is a bit of a fight breaking out as well. Yeah, it's looking pretty chaotic at the moment. They'll get a kill onto both supports. Whisper might be able to get Boxy, but where does he go afterwards? That's a difficult escape for Mr. Whisper. And even he will not be able to get out of danger as Liquid surround the Brewmaster split once again used for just a Pugna.
Yeah. There's like these little glimmers where it's like, okay, we pop Primal Split, we get a kill, but then it's like, okay, what next? And hey, the Primal Split ends, we give away some deaths, and even now, while the Primal Split's on cooldown, it just feels like there's nothing EG can do to take a fight without that Primal Split. No way near enough damage coming out from the Tiny alone. Like, maybe C-Smile can get a support or something, but if he's blinking into combo support, he's almost always going to be paying with his own life. So he has to wait for like his teammates to go in, tank some spells, then he can go in, snipe a support. He's kind of playing that like, lurker role where, he's going to get a kill, but the fight is never going to go EG's way if all he's doing is sniping a support here and there.
If the fight will ever go EG's way, how does that look for these boys down 10k? What do they need to happen?
I think it's really utilizing the repositioning tools. Blink Skewer and Blink Tossbacks, playing around your vision and getting people out of position.
Might be this fight, C-Smile. So able to finally get rid of a core, but at what cost? As Liquid, they get to die back out of the Tiny. Nisha has infinite mana to work with. Arcane zipping around. Bakaz tries to skewer back Mikke, but a BKB stops him short, and now they'll easily catch up. RP used as well from Bakaz, but he doesn't have the damage. He's making him work for it. He might get Mikke. The Lifesteal's going to come in for him at the last second, so in the end, it will be a 5-man wipe, and it's just Zai that goes down.
They're going to go for the enemy Tormentor here. They're healing up, so it looks like they want to. They gotta maybe be quick about this. Some of these respawns coming in, but they should be able to get this uncontested.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is the Liquid that a lot of people were expecting heading into this DreamLeague. At least this game, we're seeing it come to fruition. 15k lead, 22 minutes in. It's another game with a lot of killers, but this time it is very, very Liquid dominant.
Yeah, this is, the way they kind of dominate the laning stage, and I think they just felt like they had a much better answer for what the Bounty Hunter can do in this game. We'll take another quick look at this fight here, but it seems like we're at this point where EG can go in and throw everything on one hero, generally a supporter, although in this case the Axe, but once you commit to the fight, there's no getting out. Somebody gets ruptured, you can't run away from the Storm. The Storm has endless mana thanks to the Pugna, so you force a fight, and you got to be ready to take on all 5. You can't just take a kill and get out.
Which is always ideal for a team when you're playing behind. Try and split up the map, and maybe with the lane somehow somehow out. You take a fight with a numbers advantage, but Liquid are making sure that is never the case. Always together, ready to fight, ready to play as 5. It's a big reason why they have this league, and it's a big reason why they continue to get kills like this.
Yeah, big. And like anytime it feels like EG gets 1 kill, but Liquid gets like 3 in response. Or in that scenario, it's like EG poke around, press a bit too far, and Liquid just get a couple of pickoffs. It's never just like a clean 1-for-1 trade that you would happily take as EG.
Nisha?
Just
They see Bakaz and Bosi smile. Be able to get the toss back into the RP. Let's see if they're gonna have the damage. Parvy's given over to Nisha, so now with the physical damage block, Nisha able to react with the zip, and Zai's gonna be in with the call. Off to the right side, Mickey now has a free fight to charge into the middle. No RP that he has to be worried about. It still doesn't feel like he's gonna have the damage to bring them down. And now with the Primal Split, it's doing a pretty good job to kite them. It will expire. Zai's still gonna find the opening. Is this the fight that EG been waiting for? The resources starting to dwindle. 2 cores go down. Mickey will reign supreme. And now they're gonna look over to the Bounty Hunter as well, as the Chain Frost almost made quick work of them. But at the end, it just was not enough. It was a good start to the fight, but Liquid just showcased how far they truly are ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right idea, I think, where it's like, we got to make something, you know, happen that you can't just keep jumping on these supports and blowing them up. They're like, we got to go for bigger fish. They go in the storm, try and chain stun him and burst him. They were short like maybe 200, 250 damage. Just a bit too much survivability on Nisha. And then Nisha just plays the outskirts of the fight. Wait till he regens up, dropping items to get full Magic 1 value. And once that Primal Split wears off, the fight is just in a pretty unfathomable position for evil geniuses. You can see here Nisha just hiding behind the trees. I mean, they see him with the track, but he's just waiting his time for, like, basically EG to run out of fuel here. And at some point, EG have thrown everything they can and not killed a single hero except the Pug now.
And well, the Box is going to die every fight. That is a worthwhile sacrifice for him. Definitely be happy with that outcome, especially if the boys are always able to find kills to avenge his life. And with that, looks like Roche is now for the taking. I don't imagine EG are going to try and contest it, but if not now, then when really?
It's too far, and this Roach dying too fast, so EG just playing the other side of the map here, so having an Aegis Storm now in the picture is going to be... I don't see the solution to this one, but we'll see if EG... I mean, for EG, I think there's a clear win condition, which is camp your high ground and skewer people into your base, toss them back. And when I say clear win condition, this is not like something they can really play for. They're relying on Liquid to make mistakes, but I don't think they can win these heads-up fights outside of their own base now. They've got to use that high ground advantage.
Which is definitely going to be scary, though, for Liquid. Something they need to keep in the back of their mind. So let's see how they're going to be able to execute that from EG. I mean, that is always, whenever you got this repositioning, no matter what the Dota Plus win probability says, even though it's 4% right now, there will always be a way back in. It just comes down to how far you overstep the mark. Of course, we really need to wait until they walk up the high ground, and at the moment, Liquid not wanting to do that without a couple of pickoffs. C-Smile gonna make him work for this kill onto Panda, just being a nuisance more than anything.
And that's the other thing Liquid's gonna do here is, like, they know, hey, EG want to avoid fights at all costs. They're gonna just play for high ground defense. They're gonna split push. Things like Boots of Travel on Zai's Axe is like a really nice item pickup to just give them that kind of global presence where, hey, they're split pushing bottom. I'm gonna just TP down there, find a kill, combo it up with this, you know, the Storm's kind of pseudo global mobility. And you've got this kind of great kind of hunting capabilities around the map. So, gotta starve out EG as much as possible and not let EG just stall the game while farming on the map.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Which, I mean, yeah, maybe the console enough for this BKB on the Magnus.
Dire's middle tower has
We'll see, getting pretty close to it. How much farm he's able to get. I mean, it's always one praise because is being given. A lot of the carries in South America is how much farm they're able to get. Of course, K1 in particular too. So, you know, he's somehow keeping up in net worth, but everyone else is not scaling, and that's really another big issue.
It's definitely a sign of, like, these tier 1 carry players, even their bad games or games where they get shut down, it's like, oh, you look up and you're like, well, he's only 2 to 3K gold behind the top net worth, despite getting completely shut down this game.
Tries to go for the quick TP out on C-Smile. Unfortunately, that blast off from Senior. He's ready to combo with the Rupture, so... Again, yeah, it's like, it's almost at this stage where it's kind of okay for the Tiny to die. Like, it's just all on because... And with this wave, he will have the BKB, but you're going to lose another core, though. That is the thing when you have multiple ways to initiate the fights, whether it's Nisha, whether it's Zai, anyone that shows will be jumped. Because? Alright. Nice call, though, from Zai. That's going to be enough to protect Mika, and that was their one hope. Screw out of the tower with the RP. A potential Chain Frost, but Zai stops it short. The protective call to allow Mika to reposition, and now without your BKB, now without your RP as well. This is a pipe dream for EG. Once again, they'll go for it. Nisha even gets the Vortex off fast enough, sets up for Zai's double core. Great reactions out of Nisha. No buyback, of course, for the mag. And that's a well-deserved tip as well. A completely different performance, night and day from Liquid. Again, this is what we were expecting for them to come into DreamLeague. They just needed a couple warm-up games, Park. That is really it.
Yeah, they've hit their stride now. I mean, we mentioned coming to this series how they've had such a good track record against EG. They're going to walk away with the 1-1 draw here, but considering how their day has started, I think they'll be pretty happy just to get that first win and looking to build off of that. And a win like this was convincing.
And it's going to be a morale boost as well, because you bodied EG. Like, this was not a close game. Very, very dominant from start to finish. Great rotations, and we saw the difference from them to adapt to the tri-lane that EG brought in game 1. Not full tri-lane, but, you know, bring the support.